the worst part is the higher you earn, the more tax you pay. So if you think, oh, I need to do so much, my brother, my sister, there's even a point where you get to, it's almost like the other money you're making, you're just giving the government, you're dashing them. A random person will see you and call you sis, and I'm like, am I related to you? Do I know you? Do we share the same mother and father? But yeah, I was thinking that by now I probably must have overgrown it because of, the community, the people I see here, because of the people that have grown to become my friends and family, but I mean, home is still home. Back home you see, this person has money, oh, this person is living the life. My brother, my sister, is not like that. Like, you're probably even better than the person driving that car. Here it's not like that though. Here you have to pay your rent as I when due, else you jam them in court. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Joy. If this is your first time stumbling on my video, please do not make it your last. Do want to subscribe so you can get notifications on when I post new videos, okay? If you're an OG on this channel, thank you for coming back. Thank you for being a part of our community. All right, so very quickly today I'm going to talk about the things I wish I knew before coming into Australia. Oh my god, so I cannot believe it's been 5 years being in this country. I migrated 2019 and boy, it's been an amazing 5 years. But having said that, there are still things I wish I knew before coming. Okay, now I promise you I did my research. Oh my god, I did my due diligence. I in fact I researched on the littlest things, the tiniest things. But like they say, experience is the best teacher, and until you step in until you come into the zone, you just may not really understand. Okay, so the first thing on my list on the things I wish I knew, that homesickness never ends. Guys, this is 5 years in Australia and I still feel homesick. It's almost like every single time I want to go home, like every single time I'm like, oh my god, if I was back home by now, if I was back home. This is not to say that I'm not in a better place. I am, by the special grace of God, but home is still home. Home will always be home, especially for people like us who were born there, who literally had almost half of our lives back home before migrating to Australia. Okay, so it is a totally different ball game for me, and I still miss home. Seriously, I still do. I was thinking that by now I probably must have overgrown it because of the community, the people I see here, because of the people that have grown to become my friends and family, but I mean, home is still home. The second thing I wish I knew is that culture shock is real. Guys, it never ends. It never ends. It was really bad when I first came into Australia. It was so bad. Like, I would sit down. I think I've even talked about this in one of my videos. I will put the link in the description for you to go and watch, because I think I really elaborated on culture shock. But guys, culture shock is a thing. Like, you may not really understand, but when you are in a different environment, whether you've been here 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, you will still see people with different cultures, the different ways that things are done, even down to your work environment, where you see people tell you, oh no, I don't do this, I don't do that. Things that are as basic and as common as how people refer you, like when they say hi ma'am, or when they talk to you, hi sis. Back home I'm not used to calling someone saying hi sis. But a random person will see you and call you sis, and I'm like, am I related to you? Do I know you? Do we share the same mother and father? But yeah, that is all encompassing. People have different orientations, different backgrounds, and you as well, you have different upbringing, and you guys meet and you have to start seeing gaps and loops and holes here and there, and you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, it's been 5 years down the line and it hasn't ended. I see myself in different work environments with different clients. As a fashion designer, I meet different people. I hear the stories and I sometimes cannot relate because I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, it is beautiful to see that there are different cultures, there are different people with their orientation, but it doesn't change the fact that it will take you a while to sizzle down. It will take you a while to take that all in. So yeah, the third thing I wish I knew before coming to Australia is that driving is very, very important. As a matter of fact, it's not luxury, it is a necessity. Back then in Nigeria, when I was planning to relocate, my husband was telling me, oh, you need to learn how to drive. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to. But when I came into Australia, I mean, I had driven, don't get me wrong, I had driven in Nigeria, don't get me wrong, but I didn't take it serious, okay? But when I moved here, oh my God. And I see that for you to go from point A to point B, in fact, if you take a bus, it will take you 3 hours or even 2 hours. A journey that will probably take you like 10-15 minutes with your car, but it will take you 2 to 3 hours to get to that destination. Boy, I learned the hard way. Like, driving in this country is a necessity. When you see someone driving a Benz or, you know, an SUV, it's the, you know, back home you see, this person has money, oh, this person is living the life. My brother, my star is not like that. Like, you're probably even better than the person driving that car. You know, but it's just a necessity. Anything that helps you to move from point A to point B, you know, especially when you're doing like multiple jobs or you have a lot to do at the same time, getting from point A to point B and back immediately is only possible when you have a car. Public transport can never give you that luxury. Do you get what I mean? Because, say for example, the busing system here in Australia, for them to get to point K or point Z, they must have gone through point A, point B, point C, and they will keep stopping because there are people who are alighting and going up and down into the bus. You get what I mean? So it is such a necessity that I did not know was important. Another thing I wish I knew before migrating to Australia is that the Australia system, you pay rent weekly, not monthly or yearly. Okay, unlike, because I'm from Nigeria, in case you don't know, in Nigeria we pay rent yearly, like every year. Okay, but here you pay rent every week. You can decide to sum it up and pay every year, but I don't even think you'll be able to afford that, because say for example you're paying rent of $400 a week. If you times it, my brother, my sister, do you know how much? Do you know how much it sums up to? Let's not even talk about the fact that rent is not cheap. It's not your mate. It is not your what? It is not your mate. Do you know, the other day I was doing a rough calculation of how much we pay weekly here. By the time I calculated weekly rent, brothers and sisters, I said weekly rent, it was more than how much we pay yearly in Nigeria. Now do the math and tell me. And people will say, oh, but you make the money in dollars. Yeah, there's that, but it doesn't still change the fact that it's money and it's not cheap. So yeah, that's one thing that I didn't know. Seriously, coming from a system where we pay rent annually, even the annual itself, you see sometimes your landlord will say, oh, pay so pay, you know, in halves. That here it's not like that. Oh, here you have to pay your rent as I when due, else you jam them in court. Another thing I wish I knew before coming to Australia is that the tax system is not a joke. Oh my God. You go pay tax tire. I mean, you cannot compare it to other countries, obviously, because I know that Australian tax system is not as high as other countries. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Australian tax system is fair. But compared to where I am coming from, or compared to where I came from, hey, my brothers and sisters, it's not cheap. And the worst part is, the higher you earn, the more tax you pay. So if you think, oh, I need to do so much, my brother, my sister, there's even a point where you get to, it's almost like the other money you're making, you're just giving the government, you're dashing them. So the system has a way of regulating it in a way that you're not supposed to work too much. Okay, and if you work too much, it's not as if they will stop you, especially if you're not under any restrictions like student visa or tourist visa. You just, you know, if you have free unlimited work access or work benefits, you can work as much as you want. But what does it profit a man that you work so hard, and after working so hard, the government to collect their tax? To be honest, it's a good thing, because the money they take from the tax is what you see. I mean, it's something you see. It's not like they take the money and you're not seeing the outcome. Okay, the roads are amazing, the hospital, the facilities are beyond beautiful. They're doing an amazing job, a fantastic job actually. They are. But I'm just saying, like, compared to where I'm coming from, where I don't even know what it means for them to tax me that high, you know, it is totally, I mean, I wasn't informed. I wasn't warned. No one told me. Another thing I didn't know before coming to Australia is that, unlike other countries, I don't know, I think the US has this system where they pay you salary every month. Here in Australia, it's fortnightly. Some companies would even pay you weekly. It's a good thing. Oh my God. It's a good feeling to know that money will be entering your hand every fortnight, every 2 weeks. You're seeing cash. Oh my God, seriously, like it's such an amazing feeling. And like I said, contrary to what I'm used to salary. It's not like I worked in Nigeria. It's not like I was a salary earner back home, but that was the notion. That's what I know. All my friends or people that I know that work, they collect their salary at the end of every month. Here, it's twice a month. Some companies, like I said, will even pay you every week. Guys, do you know the feeling when you're receiving alerts every week or every 2 weeks? It's really jiggy. It is such a good feeling, guys. It is such an amazing feeling. You don't want to know. It's an amazing feeling. Another thing I wish I knew. This one, it choke. It choke. Another thing I wish I knew before coming to Australia is that DIY will be your friend. Do you know that back in Nigeria, I didn't even know what DIY meant? Like, I don't think I've heard that word before. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I don't think I've heard DIY before until I came to Australia. You literally have to do every single thing yourself. In case you don't know what DIY means, it means do it yourself. I'm going to put it there. Do it your what? Yourself. Boy, it is crazy. You literally have to do everything yourself. This is not to say that you cannot outsource, okay? But by the time you calculate how much it costs to cause somebody to do it, you will learn that skill by force. You will do what? You will learn that skill by force. A friend of mine was talking recently about how she wanted to get a photographer. She lives in the UK, by the way. She wanted to get a photographer. And by the time they got the photographer and the photographer gave her quotes, my friend said she went to buy a camera by herself. Took 2 days to learn how to use a camera and then did the photo shoot for her family. Guys, DIY is crazy. Like, you literally have to learn to do things by yourself because labor is not cheap. Labor is not cheap, guys. You need to learn to do things yourself. This is something that I did not know. The part that hit me hard is in parenting. Like, there's certain things you just have to learn to do. Do you get? There's certain things you have to learn. At this stage of my life, the only thing I can outsource comfortably is a cleaner. Get a cleaner to clean my house. Every other thing I have to do myself. Like, because ordinarily I signed up for the baby girl life, okay? I signed up for a life where I have a chef, I have a driver, I have a housekeeper, I just have everybody at my beck and call. They play. I say they play. Anyways, that is one shocker that I wasn't informed about, seriously. Another thing I wish I knew before coming to Australia is that housing is not cheap here in Australia. Maybe it's because I came into Australia right before the heat of COVID, because I think it was better. But when COVID struck, people started migrating from different states down to Queensland, because I live in Queensland. It was almost like Queensland was like now the best states because of the COVID and the COVID restrictions. Houses became so expensive. They were so scarce. Then we're looking for a house, wanted to go for inspection, because here for you to get a house, you have to actually go inspect the house seeds before you apply. We went for inspection, and boy, the number of people that were there, we didn't need anyone to tell us that won't get it. The queue was long. We didn't need a prophet to tell us that just give up. It was so expensive and it was scarce. Like, it is so expensive and houses are scarce in Australia. And I don't know, like I said, if it's because COVID happened and this is the aftermath of COVID. But unlike back home, to get a good house is your money. Talking about availability, there will always be a house to your taste, to your standard, to the kind of, even according to your budget. All you need to do is locate where you want to stay and go for it. But here it is totally different, and it just kind of forces you to want to eventually get your own house. Okay, the last thing I wish I knew is that skill is not cheap here in Australia. You see skill, and by skill I don't mean professions like all this nursing, IT. I mean skills as little as getting a plumber or an electrician, or even me safe that I'm a fashion designer. I'm not cheap, okay? Because by the time you calculate everything, it's crazy. The first time I moved here, I wanted to service my machine for the first time. I looked around for industrial sewing machinists that could help me service my sewing machine. But he was telling me, oh, call out fee is $150. I'm like, you say? I say, uncle, you say what? Call out fee. Call out fee. Let me explain what call out fee means. It means you're just asking them to leave their house and come to your house. Call out fee is not the price for the servicing. It is not the price of what they will use to service the machine. It's not the price of anything. It's just calling them out to come to your house. Just like home service. Exactly. Home service. That's what they call it in Nigeria. Home service. Call out fee was $150. Then by the time he now told me how much he was going to do everything, it was summing up to $400. Brothers and sisters, just service machine. Although it's not one machine, there are many machines, but $400. See, people that do skill in this country, they are the real jagaban. Like people that have skill in this country, they're the ones that cash out. I'm telling you. Nobody told me, because in comparison, why I'm comparing Nigeria, like I said, is because I came to this country, you understand? I was not born here, so there was a system I was actually used to before I migrated, right? In my country, Nigeria, I'm also an Australian, but in my home country, Nigeria, if you want to get someone to, all these, handymen, it's very affordable. Just give them 2,000, 3,000 naira, 5K. Maybe they finish doing what they tell you that their price is 10,000. You can just price. You can even price, beat down the price and say, oh, let's do 5K now. But here, they don't used to bargain. They don't used to bargain. They don't bargain, my brother. Like, if they tell you their price is their price. If they want to give you a discount, it's because they're probably on sale, or probably they just want to. But when they tell you their price, especially those ones that have stickers on it, if you cannot afford it, just be going. Just walk streets. Don't argue. Just walk. I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. Like, it's something, like I said, it's something I didn't know. I wasn't used to. I'm used to the way you price pepper. You ask them, jale, how much now? Yeah, put jara, put sumezi. But here, it is what it is. If whatever you see is what you get, like, there's no argument. There's nothing like that. Seriously. So guys, we've come to the end of the things I wish I knew before migrating. Please, the comment sections are open. Let me know what you wish you knew before migrating. If you're in whatever part of the world you're in, let me know that thing that shocked you, that you were like, hey, I was not informed, they did not tell me. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for liking my video, because I know you already like this video. Thank you so much for subscribing, because I know you already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, this 2024, please subscribe to this channel. Help this channel grow, because I know you enjoy this content. For you to have watched till this point, you definitely enjoy this content. Please subscribe, share to your friends, share to your loved ones, share it on your story, on your status, tag me and I'll repost. Thank you so much. Do not forget to share, to subscribe, to like, to be a part of our community. Okay, thank you so much, and until next time, bye.